Here alongside Andrea Carter, Brian Windhorst, Chiney Ogwumike is back with us here in Oklahoma City. We are glad to have you. I got to ask you though, Chiney, have you recovered?
I have not.
I have not recovered from last night's game. We need to take you there right now, relive the... I don't know about you, Chiney, but this feels like a where were you when game. You're going to remember exactly the moment for a very long time, and you had a unique experience listening to all of Oklahoma City react.
Oh, yeah. I was in my bed in the hotel recovering, right? And then what happened was I was watching this, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, and so did everyone on my floor. The entire floor reverberated, and I definitely think it's a where were you when the shot went down. But honestly, if you think about the shot, it's wild. It was the bounce. You could probably hear a pin drop in New York City. It took forever for that shot to come to me of the saying, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. This is a prepared team. They had the right opportunity. And guess what? A lot of people are saying they might be the luckiest team in the NBA, but rightfully so, they worked for that luck.
Better to be bothered, right? I mean, we've already shown clips this season of people talking about him having a low ceiling when he came into the draft. He was unbothered by that. He had the outside noise, not just in this game, but that's how he always is.
Success is the best revenge.
Exactly. And it's best served cold and in Madison Square Garden. There are many, many versions of this phrase, but I think the one that applies to the Indiana Pacers the most is 1 is a fluke, 2 is a trend, 3 is the truth. And this Indiana Pacers team has been the truth. Wendy, are they the best comeback team we've ever seen?
I've never seen anything like it. Typically, when you get to 3 possessions inside a minute, you can go to the parking lot. Not
and
with
some
this
did.
Team.
We're sorry if you did, Knicks fans.
Do not leave. Let's go back to the first round against Milwaukee.
This is Brian in the playoffs. This is Brian in the playoffs.
This is also who the Pacers are because they always play fast. So when you're trying to make a comeback and you have to play fast, what feels type of situation?
And you know what's crazy? We started off the playoffs celebrating Jalen Brunson as the clutch player of the year. I feel like Adam Silver needs to give out another award for clutch team of the year based off of what the Pacers have done.
And the New York Knicks, when we put up all of these improbable stats, they are the team on the other side of it. Let's take a listen to them together after the game. The New York Knicks won that series. They did win that series against the Indiana Pacers. So is there anything to come back from an absolutely crushing loss like this the New York Knicks can take here, Brian?
Yeah, I want to look at what happened with Brunson. Brunson got 5 fouls in the fourth quarter. He had to leave the game. The Knicks did a great job when Brunson went to the bench. He went on a 14-0 run. I thought they had clinched the game. We asked for our check. We were ready to go. So 2 things there. 1, I think they can build on that for when Brunson doesn't play. Secondly, because of the fouls, Brunson's minutes didn't go haywire. So Brunson actually played less than 40 minutes.
Bet on the idea that you can't have both go off. His supporting cast knocked down 6 in fourth quarter, big buckets, big threes in overtime. And then on top of it, him to be clutch himself. I think you have to sort of pick your poison and say, can we keep everyone else down and let him go off, or keep him down and let everyone else go off?
The Knicks also have to think about what they took advantage of when they faced Boston. What we saw in the Boston series that helped the Knicks ended up hurting the Knicks because they repeated some of those same actions and the Pacers took advantage.
But New York was on the other side of those comebacks, right? Coming back from down 20 points. The trend over the course of this postseason, the team that has snatched the souls, I think of Aaron Gordon in the last minute putback that he was able to beat the Clippers, and they went on to beat the Clippers in that series. Going back to the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Pacers, being on the other side of that sort of crushing loss, I imagine is much harder to turn around from.
And I especially think in the last round, the 2 underdogs, I guess you'd call them underdogs, but the 2 teams without home court advantage, the Knicks and Pacers, getting game 2. That's where the series really got into big trouble for the favorites, getting game 2. So the Knicks, as obvious as it is by me to say, you got to get game 2.
Right.
You get game 2, you can build off of that.
You're going to be going back to Indiana down 0-2 if you are the New York who broke the news of SGA being MVP. He joins us on set now. And I understand that Shai had some very special gifts, a very special way to celebrate this with his entire team. What more details can you tell us?
So Malika, the Thunder
I'm just saying, Shams, the bar has been set. The next award you win when you come to the NBA Today set.
I feel like I'm your teammate in my head.
We talked to Nick Gallo earlier this week about the unity that this team has and how much they want to celebrate in all of these wins together. It's something that's very authentic to this team.
Yeah, so this award is very much an organic award. If you look at what happened when Shai arrived here in 2019, they started a rebuild. First, they were a 20-win team, then a 40-win team, then a 50-win team, then a 60-win team. They went from a lottery to the play-in to the
second here, but someone we expect to be in the mix for years and years to come. But Denver now is focusing in on their future, and that starts with even this summer here. Shams, what more can you tell us about how that is crystallizing for Denver?
They've got their head coach, their full-time head moving forward. But they have a lot of decisions to make. They still have to figure out who their next general manager is going to be.
Pretty impressive to go from just having 3 regular season wins, having more postseason wins than regular season wins is not something we see very often. So certainly congratulations to officially the head coach, David Adelman here of the Denver Nuggets. But sticking here with Oklahoma City, one thing we know about SGA, he only is going to raise his game after being named MVP. And if history says anything, that is certainly a trend that we have seen before. I can't wait to hear the roar when he finally takes the floor. But looking back here, if we could, Director Matt, this is something that, because I know that anything, we said this to Dave earlier, Anthony Edwards, he sees this and is going to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, he absolutely will. And, first to honor Shai, sometimes consistency should be celebrated. And I think I love that word organic because he's done it authentic to him. The last time we saw numbers from a guard this efficiently of an MVP, it was Michael Jordan, 91. Someone who led the league in scoring, Shai, this year at 32 points per game on 50% shooting, plus rebounds, plus assists, plus steals, plus blocks. So that's amazing. But if you're thinking about the other side of the ball, Anthony Edwards, he's got to get his team going, especially when it comes to inside the paint. I think about this Oklahoma City Thunder because last round, the Denver Nuggets, they were the best paint team in basketball. They put up their worst numbers. If you think about the T-Wolves, they only had 20 paint points. They were outscored by 34. So even if your shot's not falling, attack the paint. If you're not scoring, spray out. Good things come.
It's easy just to say drive the ball into the basket. It's simple to say, and just get to the basket.
Where?
Well, that's the thing. The Thunder team specializes in keeping you out of that. But whether or not it's actually him getting to the basket or his teammates, he's got to play on his toes. He and the rest of the Wolves played on their heels. They let the Thunder...
Right ankle tweak did bother him throughout the game. It's something that he played many times through the most gruesome injuries. He's uncanny the way he's able to do that.
And you know what's interesting, Shams? When you roll your ankle, you're out there. Sometimes you settle for shots. This last game, game 1, what you saw was his average shot distance being 26 feet, which is the furthest he's ever had in his career. So sometimes when you're dealing with Knicks and Knacks, you feel like you can shoot the ball instead of being one of the most explosive athletes and attacking the rim.
And certainly it would help, and his teammates even said it, Naz Reid, if they can hit some open shots, it'll help draw defenders out and create a little bit more space for him to operate as well. All things we're going to be keeping an eye on here in games. Dave McMenamin. Dave, what can you tell us about how Ant has been treating that ankle between game 1 and game 2 here?
Yeah, Malika, we saw him in the second round against the...
Yeah, and you have to imagine, not that Anthony Edwards needs any more motivation, but going against the newly minted MVP, that should only bring Ant's game to another level here. Dave, thank you so much for that insight and report.